Finovate showcases cutting-edge banking and financial technology through a global conference series featuring short-form demos and thought leadership. Now, the conversation continues on the Finovate podcast.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Finovate podcast. We're continuing our conversations with the FinovateEurope Best of Show winners, and joining me today, we have Nicole Sanders and George Broom of 10x Banking. Nicole and George, thanks so much for taking the time to connect with me today.
Thank you very much, Greg. Good to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you.
Yeah, it's fun. So obviously the audience really enjoyed what you presented up there on stage in London. For anybody who's interested in seeing that demo, you can find it at finovate.com/videos. It is the number 10x. But for people who haven't seen the video, George, can you start off with just kind of a high-level overview of what 10x is all about?
Sure. So yeah, 10x is the cloud-native banking platform. So it acts as a real-time operating system for banks, and essentially it allows you to build and run your bank at record speed and at a fraction of the cost. And how we decided to demonstrate that at Finovate was through the use of our Bank Manager UI application. So this allows product managers at banks to build products, in minutes rather than months like they'd be used to. So in that 7 minutes, we built a current account with a card and also a loan ready for launch to production.
Yeah, and it was a really compelling demo, and I was amazed at how quickly everything came together. I think one of the pieces that's really important for everybody to understand is that what you can do is a lot more powerful than what you were able to actually show given the confines of the 7-minute demo. Can you give some examples of the types of things that people have built or could build using your platform?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to sort of preface that, so my background was being a product manager at a large incumbent bank in the UK, and it was an honor to be in a scenario where you have products which improve the lives of millions of people, but it was always difficult to be in a position where actually changing those or launching new innovative products was long and painful. So yeah, that's one of the problems that 10x solves. So initially within the demo, we did create that current account and that loan, and a lot of our customers consider those types of products, kind of hygiene products. If for any kind of major bank, you will generally offer those kinds of products, and they're often fairly similar across the board. When you do those with 10x, actually you get the benefit of, okay, they're much cheaper to run and change and manage along the way. But then additionally, like what we couldn't show was the ability, because our product model is so flexible, it allows you to build products that aren't traditional. They are innovative. You do have that idea, and you do have that opportunity to target a specific customer segment that your customers aren't, or your competitors aren't doing, or just do something completely new. And we allow you to do that as well. So taking some of our customers want to kind of mesh together functionality from different types of products into one thing. So for example, like a debit card and a credit card, actually a customer might need those sorts of functionalities to be present on the same product, but just react to them in the scenario in which they use it. So why do we have to force these things to be on two different products and add that two different stages of complexity for customers, and be able to reimagine a banking product more around that customer experience which you want to deliver, rather than what the traditional kind of pigeonholes would be?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Nicole, when we were talking before we pushed record, you had some stories that, or at least a story that you could talk about in terms of where some of your customers are pointing this.
Yeah, we've got two different, really great examples of how we've gone live with clients. So George was talking about the speed at which product managers can build products, and we have been able to stand up an entire division of a credit cards division from zero in 12 weeks. So in addition to being able to build the products like you saw George doing in that demo, all of the work that comes to set everything up beforehand is also done extremely quickly. So if you were going to start something from new, you can do that in weeks. In addition to that, we were talking also about a client who is migrating their book from a different platform onto ours. And we worked with them or they actually took hold of the platform themselves. built 8 completely different products, 2 of which they couldn't build on their previous platform in a day. And what that's really shown to us is the speed at which you can build, and secondly, the ease of which people can use our platform without having had any training.
Yeah, I mean, that's massive to be able to build so much so quickly. It's easy to see why what you were showing really resonated with the audience. I think a lot of them are sort of just going down this, what do I want to do kind of thinking, which is obviously really cool. And it's a position, George, to your point, that bankers aren't always in. So it's easy to see why many of them are kind of intrigued by the possibility. What kind of feedback have you been hearing since Finovate Europe? Are there certain types of products that people seem to be interested in building, or are there certain types of companies that seem most interested in you?
Yeah, we got a real range of conversations actually at Finovate, which was amazing. So the way that our platform is constructed is that it's not limited. So we can serve customers or clients that sit in the 3 banking verticals, so corporate, SME, retail, credit cards, mortgages, like all through those different segments and the different verticals. George, I think you had some thoughts around different types of companies that had approached us.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we saw it resonate with not just traditional banking institutions, but also non-banking companies too, right? Anyone who wants to offer some sort of embedded finance, through their channel. We were talking to people about that, and actually, that's also right on our sweet spot too. So we already do a banking as a service proposition over in Australia for one of our clients, which allows, I think of it as allowing any company to become a fintech, right? And any company can add this embedded kind of financial capability into their customer journeys, and it's an opportunity to just reduce friction there for customers and increase loyalty and just really take that experience to the next level. That's something we saw resonating, and it was very exciting for me as well. So our bank manager application, which we demonstrated, spent a long time building that with my team. This is really the first time that it got unleashed on people who aren't our clients. At the moment, it's a B2B application. So only our clients really see it, but allowing a room of sort of like-minded and sort of people looking for an innovation in finance and getting that reaction to it was brilliant. So that was a really good experience for us too.
Oh yeah, no, I have to imagine that it was. This is one of the beauties of coming to an event like Finovate, where you can sort of show off to brand new group of people. Here's what we've been doing, and I think obviously again the response was really positive. I am curious about what kinds of guidance you guys give to some of your banking customers in terms of where they should be deploying your technology. I mean, are there certain example products that you recommend as a starting point, or do you guys more or less let the banks themselves take the lead in terms of where it fits into their kind of product and strategy roadmap?
Yeah, so we keep everything as flexible as possible, understanding that every bank is different. Every bank's customer set is very unique to them, and they understand their customers in their own way. So we're here to facilitate their strategy. We're here to facilitate their decision making. We have a very in-depth discovery process that we work through hand in hand with them. We operate with what we call a managed service, which means that we're not just throwing the technology over the wall at them, although we empower the product managers to do what they want with the products, but we really sit with our clients and work with them to deliver pretty much anything that they want to that they can conceive, really.
I love that imagery of just chucking the technology over and being like, okay, your problem now, here you go. use it or don't. No, I think that's really interesting. And again, it sort of lets banks focus on the piece that they should be focusing on, which is how do we engage with our customers in a way that really helps them out? And it sort of takes some of this back end piece and makes it, again, just a lot easier for banks to kind of move past that and get to the part that a lot of them really want to be working on. And this actually brings me to my next question. George, can you talk to me a little bit about what's happening on the back end here? I mean, obviously the no code piece makes it really easy from the end user perspective. But how are you able to offer that in a way that's still secure and compliant? Because obviously those are really crucial pieces for any financial institution anywhere in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 10x architecture is based on kind of microservice architecture. So we have a number of different microservices which operate within bounded contexts. You know, a microservice which is expert in being able to calculate and apply interest or issue cards, for example. And bank manager is a kind of a layer which sits on top of that. So how I kind of imagine it is, you know, you're a product manager and you want to make a technology change. Like traditionally, you'd have to work with a technology team. You'd have to communicate with them. There's chances of ambiguity. There's chances of, you know, slow speed. By creating products and bank manager, that just goes. It's, you know, there's no ambiguity. You're right there. We've got what you want. But so bank manager takes over the complexity of doing the communications with the microservices. And in terms of security compliance, so we're certified to bank grade security and compliance, and that's including SOC 2 and ISO. So we're fully certified in that aspect of things. And also talking about kind of compliance here, another aspect is, you know, I want my products to be compliant in different geographies. So we kind of pride ourselves on being able to understand those different geographies and understand the kind of nuances around regulation in those and bake those into the ways that we allow clients to build products. So it takes that out that concern away from them. And actually we offer this security and compliance as a managed service within Bank Manager, within 10x platform. So that's, you know, that's a real plus point for our clients who use the platform. It's just a worry taken off their shoulders and managed by 10x.
Yeah, here's where you can see the advantage of having a number of ex-bankers on staff. Obviously, you're acutely aware of some of those challenges and how quickly, you know, even the best technology can get derailed if you don't keep your eye on some of those other really crucial pieces. I'd like to, you know, we're kind of approaching the end of our conversation here, and I'd like to zoom out a little bit because I think, you know, there's kind of this broad, this really big question, which is, does technology like this contribute to the idea that every bank will end up offering their customers kind of the same basic products? Or is the opposite the case, where you start to see a lot of differentiation between what customers are offering because they can now kind of build it exactly how they want? What are you seeing right now, and what do you think the future holds? Nicole, I'll start with you on this one.
Yeah, so great question, Greg. And the way that we see things and what we're able to facilitate is we take the technology that doesn't facilitate core differentiation for the bank's end customers, and we take on the development there and innovate on it in our own way. So, for example, every bank has got commonality across it in that they need transactions, they need customer management, they need products, and we bring those in-house. We make sure that we are running at over 10k TPS. We make sure that our engine is powerful. We make sure that we have the most powerful or the highest grade security possible, so that the bank can take its resources and point them at innovation and differentiation on the front of experience, on the front of like a front end. And also within our cost model, so because we are a SaaS managed service, we're able to reduce the cost of running a core banking platform. So you don't have those legacy platform costs, which then frees up more margin for innovating in those areas. So the front end experience, and really using the data that we're bringing together and empowering our clients with.
Yeah, I mean, I love it.
I agree.
Oh, go ahead, George.
So yeah, it's actually what Nicole was saying. It's you know, customers may not realize, and increasingly may not realize, that they're engaging with banks and financial institutions, you know, through the growth of embedded finance and open banking. And what really like compels customers and gets them excited and gets them recommending things to their friends, you know, is that user experience. It's like the layer that sits on top of this core functionality. The core functionality like will often remain the same, and actually 10x allows you to take those kind of functionalities and stitch them together in different ways, and you get cool new products, but you're still stitching together similar sorts of functionality, payments, interest calculation. Do that all really quickly and at a really low cost, and then let our clients focus on that layer on top, which really allows them to differentiate themselves in market, win those customers, get people talking, get people excited about that customer experience they're delivering. Like that's really kind of where we place ourselves, and that benefits that we are able to offer our clients.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, I think it sounds really cool. And again, I talk to a lot of companies and people who are trying to find, customers who feel like they're underserved or undervalued as customers, or maybe even not really seen for who they actually are. And I think it's platforms like this that allow financial institutions to go out and really target some of those groups and say, we're now creating a product that's really for this group specifically. We understand you, we understand the struggles that you have, and here's some products which can help you to deal with a lot of those struggles. And so I think it's the kind of thing where I certainly hope that it contributes to differentiation of services, although obviously some pieces are going to end up looking pretty similar. But the more we can treat individuals like individuals, and the more we can give them an experience that speaks to that individuality, I think the better the entire industry is going to be. And of course, the better the end users, the end customers' experience is going to be as well. So, last question, just for people who are curious, what is next for 10x? How do you see the roadmap evolving from here? And George, I'll give you a first crack at this one.
I'll start at things from like a segment and geography perspective. So, as we've kind of been hinting at, like the underlying technology to deliver all ranges of banking products has been delivered, on 10x, and we have clients using them. So we want to be able to expand those into different segments who can start to use them and work with clients in those segments. So we're actively doing that already within the corporate banks. So we've got propositions launched around retail already in market, and moving into the corporate and business spaces, and then into multiple different geographies as well. So offering a kind of truly global platform here that's proven in geographies and continents around the world. So yeah, watch this space in terms of clients launching in different continents throughout the rest of this year.
Oh, that's excellent. Nicole, last words to you. Anything you'd like to add about the vision?
Oh, very much about growth for us, and we're really excited about what we're going to be delivering over the coming year and then the years to come.
No, I think that's excellent. And so hopefully we'll see you back on stage at Finovate at some point showing the next version of it. And as George is saying, watch this space. There's going to be a lot to come. Congratulations again on taking home that trophy. Really well done. And again, for anybody interested in watching their demo, you can find it at finovate.com/videos. I've been talking to Nicole Sanders and George Broom. Thank you again so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg. Great to catch up. See you soon.
The Finovate podcast is produced by Informa Connect in association with Provoke.fm Media. Check out Finovate.com for information on Finovate's upcoming shows and to learn how you can get involved. The discount code Finovate Podcast will save you 20% on tickets to all of our events. And you can email us at info@finovate.com for information on sponsoring, speaking, or demoing. Thanks for listening.